One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
The explosion has happened. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino's Spot indeed on this Thursday. It's a Thursday for Saturday, this one, because, of course, we're away on the gigs this week, and so we are pre-recording this show, but we are doing it live right now. So when you are watching right now on Thursday, you're watching it live. On Saturday, you can still comment, but you are watching it pre-recorded indeed. So welcome to Gino's Spot, and thank you to our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds and Spar. Spar has been wonderful, and we are doing a little show for them tomorrow morning as well. It's going to be fantastic. I think the staff are having a bit of a shindig, and so well they should. They've been working hard all year, and we are hoping also to have next Tuesday, we have Peter Wise in the studio, which is going to be fantastic too. Peter Wise, a radio maniac from years back. Lots of friends around as well that you can check out what Peter Wise is doing right now. And of course, then the following Saturday, we have Linky and Lance from the St. Francis Brewery, where I was earlier on today. It was fantastic. What a lovely spot there in St. Francis. So relaxed. They just come back from a surf, the little buggers here. Now, honestly, Wendy Tompkins, hello, Prefect. Oh, thank you so much. Did you notice that? I've got my blazer on today because my blazer was still in the cupboard from 157 years ago. Brian Wilkinson, hello, indeed. Because tonight, why have I got my blazer on tonight? Because I'm ex-VP, of course, because that's my alma mater. And because we have Mike Vermaak in the studio tonight. Indeed, we are going to chat to him and find out exactly what's going on. He's getting ready to step out and retire, get rid, shed the shackles of workdom, indeed. So we're going to have a great time tonight. And let me sing you a sing. Send me some comments. Let me send me some comments as well so I can sing them. Just another addition to our sponsors, of course, we have some punters here from Keith. Thank you. He delivered some today. Lovely. We've got some more for a couple of days, indeed. And of course, Grace has helped us out. Fat Cats Catering. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that, eh? Look at that. Lovely little things to eat. And a bit of punters and a bit of Fitch and Leeds, indeed. We've got a whole bunch of stuff here today. We're eating like kings here on Gino's Spot. It's fantastic. All right, so welcome. Give me a couple of comments. Let me see where you're watching from. Tell me where you're watching from, and tell me what you're doing. And what are you drinking? Because you need to have a little drink in your hand. Obviously, a little glass of wine or something. I've got a little bit of Fitch and Leeds, and of course, a little bit of punters. And we're going to be punting tonight with Mike Vermaak. So send me a few comments to sing. How's about that? Welcome to Gino's Spot, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be good fun. Thank you, Brian Wilkinson. That's right. Wilkinson. Like Wilkinson's sword. Oh, and hello, Warren Telford. How you doing? Ex-VP as well there. He said, how's it, G? And Camilla Ellis. All the Ellises were at VP as well. Also ex-VP. That's right. Just as gorgeous as he was when he met me in 83. That's right, like the way you move. Oh wait. And David Hazelden just won the election here in Woman that Ward 5. Evening Gino. He was also at BP, that's right. My pardon host from all the way from Durban. But drinking coffee gonna make you little rich, yeah. And Brian Wilkinson says school's out. Oh yeah, school's out for summer. But right now, hi bush pig. He's saying hazard to the bush pig. I gathered that from Mike. Yeah. And David Cole Croft. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gino's Spot. It looks like it's going to be some fun indeed. I see Bobby Cheatham on there as well. Hello, Bobby. I see Avril. Of course, Avril Cheatham taught at VP, and she loved it, Mrs. Cheatham. And she didn't cheat him in the exams, that's for sure. My two kids also attended school there. Mike is a great principal. Isn't he just, hey? Isn't he just so well loved? Vivite Fortes, whoop whoop, says Mark Telford. Lovely to have the Telfords on board here as well. Heidi Brown from the class of 94. Fantastic, Heidi Brown. I'm so pleased. We're going to have a whole lot of old scholars on here. It's going to be fantastic fun. So we'll have to test Mike's memory to see if he can remember all these people. It's like, it must be crazy being a teacher or something where there's so many students come through your class, you can't remember who was in your class and who wasn't. Rob Epworth, how's it, Gina? Vancouver greeting all the way from Canada. The fantastic Rob Epworth, lovely to see you on Gino's Spot, coming back to the Eastern Cape. It's a show to make you happy. This is a show to make people a bit, to encourage people. David Hazelton, well done, young man. David's just won the for the DA. I think he just won the Ward 5, and Martin Neft as well with you. Was he really? So. Like I said, it's made. The show is made to bring the community together, to bring on entrepreneurs, to bring on interesting people and people that are well loved, and we'll make people happy together. How about that? How about that, indeed? All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, our sponsors, Fitch and Leeds, have got a little bit of an advert that we'd like to play for you. It's a wonderful fantasy advert.
Morris Merlingson's mind swirled with ideas.
So, what's the story, Morris?
But it was never the right time to share his work. The demand was only a distraction.
Darling, just share.
Dad, I have a story.
With innovation as his only destination, he set off for new discoveries, a land of uncharted stories. No idea was worth sharing until he had redefined perfection. But the perfect discovery had left him behind.
Hey, you look like you've been on a journey. So what's your story?
For exceptional ideas are meant to be shared.
No problem, and welcome, Mike.
Cheers,
welcome,
Gino.
Mike Vermaak, to our studio.
Cheers, everyone out there.
Cheers, everyone out there too. It's fantastic to have so many people online too. They're all popping in to say how's it. So we can have a look at some of those comments just now. And Gary's on it. We've got live streaming is like that. It's fantastic fun.
Yes.
So
I'm new at it.
it's good. It's good. Well, welcome to your first live stream.
First live stream. Good to be here.
Absolutely. And they tell me that you're retiring next year. Is this common knowledge? Is it a scoop for us?
It's fairly common knowledge,
all right,
but
then.
your scoop isn't too late.
All right.
It's still new and it's still very new to me.
Yes, I'm sure. It must be. It's a bit of a mind warp. I would think that
It's a very bittersweet feeling.
Yes.
Sweet in one way because one does look forward to it. But at the other stage, I've enjoyed my education career so much that there'll be a lot to be missed. So.
Yeah. Is there that I mean, I wouldn't know for retiring, but certainly when you're making some sort of life change, there's always this like a little bit of terror as well as the time that you think it's going to be.
You usually put things so well, Gino, you messed that one up because there's not only a little bit of terror.
Oh, is it?
There's plenty of terror. The unknown, you once had something known in your life for 40 years, and all of a sudden you're going into something that's very different.
I know.
But exciting at the same time.
Yes, it is exciting because it does free you up.
It does.
Then and so you've got to you've almost got to do some soul searching now and say, what the hell? What would I really love to do, or what would I really, that's kind of.
We'll have time for those things, and
yes,
so that'll come later.
So those questions are all going around in your head.
They're
right?
all going around in my head.
Well, Mike, I'm surprised you're still walking around and not just walking around in a dazed fashion. There we go. Donna Staples says, "How's it? Hello, I'm Gino and Mr. Vermaak watching you from." We're Lowry Ireland. Recently
Hello,
moved after working at the Vicky Tuck Shop. Oh, that's right. class of 97, and my husband Neville, class of 1994. Mr. Vermaak, best boss and principal.
Thank you, Donna. Come back.
Come back. We need you for the Snoopy, man. Christopher Van Rooyen, such a great way to celebrate the principal. Now, a great boss indeed.
Thanks, Chris. You made such a great day on prize giving and valedictory.
Oh, did he do?
Well done, Chris.
Did he do a speech
First time
there?
out, he was brilliant.
Really? Oh, what did he do? A speech or a...
No, he organised it.
Oh, really?
Our lady that used to do it retired, and he took it up, thrown himself in the deep end with the COVID restrictions, and he did a great job. Well done, Chris.
So, okay, I see Susan Kemp saying how's it there as well, and then Annelie Abercrombie. Annelie, that is of course Emil's mom. I remember that.
Yes.
And that's said Mr. Vermaak, real legend. Emil and Megan loved their high school years under his reign. Indeed, the high school years are so. It's such a short period that you're at high school. It's like 5 years, or
And it flies.
And it flies. But it's got such a major impact on your life. What a good-looking father-in-law.
Oh, he's wanting to ask the question, eh?
Oh, there we go. Well, as long as
Thanks, Francois.
As long as you bring in some grandchildren, then Francois, just hurry it along. But yeah, it's just that short amount of time that you have, that 5 years, but yet it has such an impact on you.
It changes everyone's life.
Yeah.
It really does. And they arrive little snotties
Yeah.
and leave there as young adults, and the change is amazing.
Yeah.
Just saw it when we had, luckily could have in COVID time, for the first time now in 2 years, we had a proper prize giving and valedictory.
wow.
And just the spirit and that was just so amazing.
Okay.
And looking at these kids, looking adult now and remembering, it seems like yesterday, that they walked in there, these little tiny ones, scared of everything. Now they're scared of nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's just obviously your body is changing, you're growing, your brain is still forming. It's that time that and you remember it.
You do.
For the rest of your life. You remember that time, those times.
Yeah, I'm lucky to be going back to my alma mater next year. Muir College in Utenake's turning 200.
Yes.
And a huge thing, and we're getting together, and the emails have started with
really?
our classmates, but it seems like yesterday.
Yes.
And it was a good 45 years ago now.
Tell me about the bell there at Muir.
Whoopsie.
What's the bell story? Because I played drums on that while I was there, and apparently that wasn't there.
It wasn't the thing to do.
Wasn't the thing to do.
That was Holy Grail.
I had my drums set up right in front of the bell, so it was like, hey. But no, they didn't mind. They were good guys. I think it was the 195 or whatever, 190. I can't remember which one I did. But we played there as a band. And Muir College also got an amazing history. Huh?
Yes, it has. It's amazing. We like to think of ourselves as the oldest school in the country. I know there are a couple of schools that challenge it.
Oh, really?
But it'll be awesome next year for 200 years. For everybody getting back. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That is really incredible at 200 years. That's 1820 something. It was 25 or what is it? 20.
You work it out. You work
next
it
year.
out.
It's 2022. So it's 1822. Yes, sir. I mean, a lot of history, but so many kids and then gone through that school that it's crazy.
Amazing.
As a teacher, you see the children coming through and growing up and disappearing. So it must be so difficult for you to remember all these people coming through.
I've just noticed a few names on here,
Yes.
all the way back to the Muir days and my teaching days at Riebeck.
You teach? You say you taught at Riebeck
I
as well?
taught at Riebeck as well. I had all the boys at first,
All right.
and then all the ladies.
Yes.
And each of them have their own special place in my heart. And
Yeah.
but it was lovely seeing some of the names.
Yes, I see Cheryl Kirker and a couple of others here as well. We'll get ready to put up the comments just now. But so at the moment, you are going to be retiring next year. Have you sort of have they found a new principal? They're still looking around?
My very able deputies, and that's Adrian Jansen and Estelle McLeod. Adrian will take over temporarily.
They both taught me.
And they both taught you.
Both taught me, those two.
Did they do a good job?
They did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
I think Adrian was probably his first year.
I'm very blessed to have the two of them. And yes, they'll carry on the legacy of what's been a lovely school and keep the spirit going, which makes the school and the caring atmosphere. So yes, it's in good hands.
Oh, good.
And later on, it'll go through the bulletins,
Okay.
and then one will get applications, and
applications
they're
and-
free to apply.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
one
often it
can
is.
get outside.
Often it is. But if you know the culture of the school, it's easier, isn't it? For somebody within. But yeah, you never know. And it's. I mean, it's like I said, for you. You're gonna be going into a new phase of your life it's exciting but super terrified at the same time.
Terrified at the same time.
But no, and any challenges that you have in this year with the school? I mean, it's like obviously with COVID, it's been quite hectic. Has the change been
The last 2 years, Gino, have been
rough?
It almost hastens one's retirement.
Yeah,
Because what makes the school to me is the spirit and the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and the contact with people,
Yeah.
teachers, kids. And now you've got everybody in masks trying to social distance. Some kids are terrified of COVID. Others see it as and somehow you've got to bring it all together and make it work. So the last 2 years, we've just lost that where the warmth of people.
Yeah.
You know, the mask takes it away. You don't see the full smile.
Yeah.
Yes, you do smile with your eyes,
Yes.
but it's not anywhere near what we need to. And kids like to hug.
Yeah, of course.
I think we like to hug. We
Yeah.
like to be able to, and everything has been so distanced.
Yeah.
So yes, it's been a challenging 2 years,
Yeah.
and the kids are feeling it.
Yeah.
They're feeling the lack of sport, cultural societies, charity societies, music, and all of that. So that's been sorely missed.
Well, stuff like Euro Tour. What happens on Euro Tour stays on Euro Tour, says Cheryl Schroeder.
Hello, Cheryl.
Rob Hepworth, my math teacher and hockey coach from year 83. 83!
Rob, yes. That was my second year of teaching, yes.
Really?
That's
oh,
right.
my word. Listen, 83 was a good year for music. Eh?
Yes, it was
Rob,
a good year.
83 was the best year ever for music. Ever.
Yes, Rob, all the way in Vancouver. Cheers.
Yes, in Vancouver there was Cheryl Gericke saying, I know Gino all the way from Noobi, East London coming through. One of our most memorable teachers, Jenny Lynn Robertson.
Thanks, Jenny Lynn. Good still seeing you.
Angie Jones. How's it, Angie?
Angie, nice to hear from you. Haven't seen you for a long time. It's overdue.
You always give Devin such good advice, is what he says. It's nice to have a celeb as a friend. Oh, you know, eh?
Far from Koreata, but nice comment.
You know. Craig Dillon says, how's it, Mike? Muir College legend and awesome teacher.
Can't wait to see you at the 200 years, Craig.
Hey, is that a schoolmate of yours then?
He was a learner, pupil when I was there.
Oh, people when you were there as well. Okay, Warren Telford, Mike, you still make best guest appearance for your reunions. Because our reunions was 88, so. Truly a great man, says Mimi. Thank you, Mimi. Teacher and principal indeed.
Hi, Mimi, thank you. All of this is so appreciated.
It's lovely to have these on here. Roxanne Killian said the 5 years I had at VP, Mr. Markey made a great principal. You are very well loved. You know that.
No, I don't. You see, you need this every now and then.
Just,
thank you very much for saying so.
You know, because when I've spoken to a couple of people. I shared our thing out. You know, we scheduled it, and man, the amount of things I got as well. I got a couple of messages. Andre Strodom sent me a message just
Lovely,
before
man.
as well, sending his love. And you know, but you deal with people. That is, I suppose, that's your skill. Is people skills.
That's my biggest skill, I think.
Yeah.
When I say skill, it's something that I'm just happy to have. Teaching life to me is just about people and what joy you can have with them and what a difference you can make in each other's lives. And I always want to tell people, you must never leave a place where someone feels worse than they felt because you've been. And
unless you're the moorin about something.
Yes. It's true, but yes, the people part of it is just amazing. It is. And the great majority of people you work with, that's learners and teachers, and that are awesome people. 80% of them are. And people always say, back in our days, we were this or weren't that. And today's kids are terrible. Let me tell you, there's been no change.
There's no change.
There is
you
80% of the kids are still awesome. 15% don't know where they fit,
Yeah.
and 5%
Full of
are
cuck.
bloody naughty. And let me tell you, that 5% takes up 95% of your time.
Of course it does, isn't it? And yeah, it's crazy how that works. Is that you always think, oh no, our thing was we were really the legends.
We were
you
the
know?
legends, and we would never have done things in our time at school.
Yeah, exactly. You did it all. Isn't it crazy? And so, your teaching career. Well, maybe let's go back with the history. Let's go see where you started. Where were you born? Were you?
I was born in Utrecht,
In The Hague.
Kariga, in The Hague.
Yes, so-
Very proudly a Utrecht product.
Yeah.
And I stayed there for quite a while. When I started teaching at Victoria Park, I actually drove through daily.
you were still there. So you were still there.
Yes, and brought kids up. My twin girls I brought up in Utrecht when they were tiny.
Okay.
And let me tell you, that was a great place for them.
Yeah.
You know, you think of things like in Utrecht, the neighbors are all your home. We had bricks piled up at the back and on the sides for the kids when they were chocolate 4 years old. They would climb over and go and have tea with the lady behind and someone next door, and everything was expected like that. And I remember Utrecht, one night my wife and I were sitting at home, and a combi arrived outside. There were a bunch of guys that had been playing golf. They'd gone and picked up their wives. The first one walked in, he said he had the buns. The next one had patties. And the party was at our house.
Burgers.
And I really, as much as I love Port Elizabeth, that's never happened to me in Port Elizabeth. And Utrecht, that type of thing almost was the norm.
Okay.
And the social life was absolutely incredible.
It's that small town feel as well.
It is.
Gives you that small town
Very
feel.
much so.
And so I mean, you were at Muirboy from sub-A to matric then?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so Muirboy.
And then I started teaching there.
Okay, and
My
then you
first
taught there as
post
well.
was there.
Your first post? You studied, obviously, it was a teacher training college or
No,
was it
I went.
varsity or-
I went first to the army first.
Okay,
So
yes,
I
of
spent
course.
2 years in the army.
Yeah.
And then 4 years at UPE, and did a BCom.
Yeah.
And I fluke majored in maths, and taught maths from the beginning.
Yes.
And I've never taught accounting and the other subjects that I studied for.
Had a brain for maths. A couple of people have said to me, he's a maths boffin.
I think I'm one of those guys that are so doof that I understand the other people not understanding, so I can explain that to them.
Okay.
So I think that's my way
So
of
you're the
teaching
link.
maths. I'm the link.
Oh, I love it. I see Tanya Wood saying how there as well.
Hello, Tanya. Thank you.
They're
Awesome.
all going. Tanya Wood says, thank you, Mr. Vermaak, being an awesome teacher at Riebeck. There with me till I matriculated in '93, and best boss ever had. So she also then taught.
She's
obviously
now.
at-
Yeah, I
Okay.
taught her in matric, and now she's teaching with me and for me.
Okay,
And
okay.
she actually matriculated with my Lot Lamiki sister, Judy. Hello, Judy out there.
Judy as well.
Judy, I taught in matric as my Lot Lamiki sister, and she's also teaching on my staff. So the
no
two
ways.
of them that were in matric together at Riebeck are now both
They're
really
attracted
good
to you, eh?
teachers.
They're
Really
cute.
good teachers
Wow. okay.
at Victoria Park.
I see Liesel Goosen saying, hello, Mr. Vermaak taught me at Riebeck College. Awesome maths teacher.
Liesel Hopkins, you beaut.
I love it. I always remember the maiden name. Eh?
Yes, I do.
Sandy Carter.
Sandy Cotter and I played a lot of soccer together.
Philip wants to know what you were like as a pupil.
I was mischievous.
Is it?
I was mischievous. So I got up to a lot of what I like to call nice naughty.
Okay. Clean fun.
Good, clean fun, I think, yes.
Yes. But irritated the teachers.
Irritated
certainly.
teachers, make no mistake.
Hello, Paul Chambers. Happy retirement, Mr. Vermaak. You got the Astro done. All the best from Paul. London.
Yes, hello, Paul. And we got the Astro done, and the sad thing is our millions and millions of rands worth of investment has been lying idle for quite a while.
I know.
And so we can't
It's
wait
ready to go.
to get back and get onto it.
She was, yes, absolutely. Megan Carver, bet you were the naughty one at school. She said she sees that coming. And I see Judy Nell and Lydia.
Lydia. Hello.
There we go.
Eyelids.
That is a difficult name to say. That Judy Nell. Oh, Judy Nell. Most amazing brother, teacher, coach, and a brother.
It's my
It's
little
your
Lord
sis-
Lamiki's sister.
Oh, I see.
Listen,
Okay.
I was in matric.
Oh, is it?
I can tell you the story.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And
Surprise.
one Friday evening, my dad never had a dop at home, but on Friday evenings he went down the club. Him and his father-in-law, they went down to the club. And he arrived home this Friday night, and the front door swung open and bounced back again. And he walked straight in. And I said, "Nah, Dad." I thought it was divorce. "Nah, Dad." He says, "Ask your mother." And Mom says, "We're pregnant." I was in matric. I thought, wow.
Wow.
Didn't know moms and dads still did these things.
I don't want to hear what you did. Yeah.
Anyway, but the most amazing sister that's come out of it. Love you
man.
to death, there.
Oh man, and the little sisters, I think they look after you as well.
They
I
do,
think
they do.
They-
She still does.
And know if you're feeling sad or whatever.
Yeah, she does.
Indeed. And so, I mean, is that what you wanted to study? Is that what you wanted to do from the minute you left school and you went to the army first?
I was interested in a BCom and
Okay.
maybe doing accounting or an accountant.
Okay.
But then a teaching bursary became available. And at that stage, it made it a lot easier on my folks
Yes.
and our situation if I could get a bursary and look after it. So I went to army, stayed 2 years instead of a year,
Okay.
and saved up money. So together with the bursary and the saving from a year's actually
Yes.
permanent force,
Okay,
for a
wow.
year's permanent force, it funded me
With
through,
the PFs,
through varsity.
nogal.
And but I'm very glad I made the decision to teach with my degree. It's been a lovely road that we've travelled.
Yeah.
It really has.
I mean, it certainly must have been a passion of yours that you found.
Yes.
And like I said, a people person, somebody who's obviously got empathy, those sort of qualities that you need. You have to have that for the teacher. There's no other way as a teacher. I get it from my wife. My wife, I see it. She's got so much patience.
Yeah, she is. And she's amazing.
Yeah, she's
Flipper's amazing. Yeah, you can
but
see
I
that.
mean, I see it in the teachers in general are. I mean, maybe I'm just I've got a bias, but whenever I see teachers, I think that there are not many teachers that are rotten eggs, that are bad people. They're always trying their damnedest.
They are trying their damnedest. And let me
trying to
tell
make
you
things
that
happen.
the schools that I've taught at,
Yeah.
and especially Victoria Park High School, teachers really care a lot. And it's absolutely amazing to see the extra mile that people will go to, not only academically, the little things about caring for people, feeding one that's possibly going through a hard time,
Helping
going to
one.
make sure that you can pick up a cricketer all the way in KwaZulu to get him to play because it's his passion and hasn't got
And he hasn't
transport.
got transport.
And something like that, absolutely amazing.
It's more like a vocation, I
It
suppose.
is, yes.
It's like nursing or being a doctor or
Or minister.
Or a minister.
It's a calling almost.
Dominee.
A dominee, yes.
Is reg, ja. Jy kon mos 'n dominee gewees het.
Nee, dankie.
Nee, is jy seker?
Ja,
Pastoor, is jy seker? Dominee Vermaak. Ek sien dit was baie lekker gewees.
Ja, nee.
Oh my word. Is there anything do you think that you could have gone into as well? That you I mean, you went into teaching, but I mean, is there something else that you would have thought, wow, I could have done that?
Look at a while doing a BCom, and I enjoyed company and commercial law in the BCom. I thought after a while it wouldn't have been bad being a legal advisor in a business corporation.
Yeah, okay.
And that I felt I could have done and
advisor.
probably would have enjoyed it.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. But
You go for the high stress stuff, eh? Not a problem.
yeah, but now I wanted to break away from this high stress stuff.
Now you would have had both stress as a lawyer, surely. As a legal eagle.
Probably.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Muir College, you taught at Riebeck, you taught Muir, then you taught at Riebeck as well.
And in between, I had a year at what was the old commercial high. And the year that I was there, I got a promotion post very fortunately, luckily after about 4 years at Muir. And I went to Strelitzia as it became in the year that I taught there. An amazing year. Ek was op my hande gedra.
Yeah, yes, I really.
And we had tiny maths classes, and
Yeah.
they become very special.
Okay.
Incredible bond. So I had a year there, and then we had a sideways move
Okay.
to head of maths at Riebeck.
Okay.
And really did enjoy my time there.
Yes.
And enjoyed more than anything hockey.
Oh, really?
And
Okay.
in Utrecht at that time, the sports centre was put up.
Oh, wow. Yes.
And
yes. Well, the tennis used to play the
And
Christopher
they,
Rensburg
yes, and they had an indoor hockey court.
Okay.
And I used to take the Riebeck hockey girls, and we started, and they had a little league. And let me tell you, no one could beat Riebeck.
Really?
And it was because we had our own court and we could
Yes.
practice, but we had a passion for it.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. So the sports has also been a thing for you. Did you play sport at school as well?
I played a lot of sport.
Rugby, cricket.
I played soccer was my
Okay.
main sport, and I played that at club level. I was lucky actually to make the South African University soccer team, so I did play in the Currie Cup tournament and that. But then I played hockey at school, so I was a keen hockey player, and most of my coaching at school has been hockey. I did also coach some soccer, but most of my coaching has been hockey. And really proud to have had a couple of junior Springboks that have gone through our hands.
Wow.
And lovely guys like Shane Viviers and Brendan Boertes, who actually made the Olympic team. So they were people that I was very happy to have been part of and have a little part to play in their success.
No, you certainly, as a teacher, you have a lot of effect on the kids that are there. And my son Jason is supposed to study for math, but he still is watching this. The best principal ever, according to him. Well, you better study a little bit as well. Nicholas Oates saying, hi, neighbour.
Hi.
There we go.
Hello, Nick.
We're welcoming our children for a third generation, isn't it? It's always the case, isn't it?
Lovely, yeah.
The kids come through. Sean Keegan's been doing amazing things with her
project.
Your project. So she's Sean, you're doing a fantastic job.
She's full of passion.
She is, absolutely. And gonna miss you, Mark, especially getting things done at the school. You know, you need that person that gets it done.
The DA.
There you go, Katie Beasley. Is it Beasley?
That's right.
A true gentleman through all the years, math teacher and headmaster, the best European tour. What's this? Tell me about Euro tour. What is the story?
Euro tour. I took a number of Euro tours where I put a group of kids together and a couple of adults.
Yeah.
And we'd go to Europe for 2.5 weeks.
Fantastic.
So we saw everything. We had so much fun. We didn't even need to see the mountains of Switzerland because of all the fun one was having as a group.
Yes.
And I always said we could have gone to Pofadder and had a good time. But we
Didn't have to
had
go
amazing.
overseas.
But it was absolutely amazing, the educational aspect of the
adventure.
tours. It was a huge adventure, and we've always had like great ones.
And there's always stuff that you learn while doing that teaches you life lessons.
Life lessons all the way. Lots of life lessons.
Yeah. And then, so the VP move, when did that happen?
VP move was 1994.
Okay.
I applied for the deputy headmaster's post there.
Okay.
I was at Riebeck at that stage, and as a young man, and luckily to get it.
Yeah.
Mr. Staples was the governing body chairperson now. Okay. He actually runs our Victorian tuck shop at the moment.
Oh, lovely.
So I'm still in with Mr. Staples, but he appointed me, and really very thankful for that because I've had some amazing years there.
Yeah.
And so from 94 onwards, I was there.
Okay, wow.
And in 2002, I think it was, that I took over as headmaster.
Yeah. Because I remember first meeting you probably around that time. It must have been mid-90s when I was still doing shows for Michiel de Beer. We do those shows every year. And I think 94, was that the year that Mr. Blake died?
Yes, 94, Mr. Blake died.
That year we were doing...
I'd been there for about a term.
Wow, okay.
When Mr. Blake passed
we were doing
away.
Little Shop of Horrors, I remember.
That's right,
that. So that must have been the time then.
Yeah.
Lani Going, I think, was still playing
That's
piano.
right,
Lani
that's right.
And Michiel de Beer.
What is he going?
Yeah,
Bernard going, yeah.
Bernie and Lani, if somebody tag them, they've got to come there. Bernard and Lani. They're in Durban now. I think Bernard was down for a little while. He was looking at moving actually at one stage. I don't know why he didn't move. Why didn't you move, Mr. Going? And of course Michiel de Beer was amazing. He's now teaching off and on still, but also semi-retired, I think.
Is he semi-retired?
He's in Hamburg again, I believe.
I loved Michiel. He was a good
fantastic.
guy.
Fantastic guy.
And a good musician.
Yes, amazing. But just his organizational skills and to get those shows together.
Yes,
well,
sure.
it was,
They did well. The VP shows are legendary.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's another thing we've missed in COVID.
Yes, the
You know,
shows.
things like that, the shows that we could have had.
Yeah.
And there are whole batches of kids that have missed out on 2 years of that.
Of
where
theatre
they
and
would
drama.
have played those parts, yes.
Damn it, it's right. Now you've got to do what I did and go and invent stuff yourself.
Yes.
But I just related a story to you with Mr. Bogue, Louis Bogue at the time, that came to me and said we must get a band together for the matric dance. I thought he was on his way to cuck over me about something, and instead of cucking on me, he gave me the biggest gift I've ever had in my school career. Just about to have a band.
Gonna make a band.
Gonna make a band. What? The teacher's telling me to make a
Make a
band.
band.
That's the best thing ever. Oh my word! I see just a couple more here. We've got Rana Nell, best brother-in-law, my other dad. There we go.
That's my Lord Lamiki's sister's husband.
Oh, there we go. Adrian Janssen. Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. Thank you.
Interesting stories and a very, very good innings. Indeed. I mean, it's since '94. That's incredible.
27 years.
27 years. Yeah. I've been married since '94 as well. You know.
How long is 27 years then?
It's very long in marriage terms. Dorothy Buerta saying, Denny Buerta, greetings from class of 67.
Hello, Denny.
Woo.
That's awesome. That's a long way back.
Yeah, that is. Charles Christel, lekker. Excellent. And Sean, thanks. It's a pleasure, Sean. You keep at it. And Carolyn Moday, she's also been involved. I know she's friendly with Marilise. I think Boy and Sweet did some shows and stuff together there. Rita Wollman, greetings. Lots of meetings
Thanks,
with
Rita.
the boys. Yes. So nice to see him. It's nice to be able to people to see you as well. That you're still going strong.
But
And
we are.
he's looking quite good, I'd say.
I don't know. I don't know. Find it difficult looking at the screen.
I know, trying to see what's going. Grace Erasmus saying there, will there be a Vermaak Hall in the making?
They named already.
Is it? They're all named. We'll have to build another hall. It'll be the Vermaak Astro, I believe. I believe that's what it's going to be. Leanne Barrera, also ex-VP from when I was there still.
Yes.
Best principal ever, lots of respect. And Bronwyn Smith, there we go. The best higher grade math teacher. And so there's lots of girls from Rubek remembering her.
Yes, you see, I was a young man then. That was.
I see.
I was a young man then.
You were happening.
That was something different, not the fossil that's sitting in front of them now.
Oh man. Okay, so and then obviously teaching at VP then from '94.
Yeah.
And the principal position, when did that happen?
2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've actually been a principal there since
For 20 years.
amazing. 20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Incredible. And like I said, absolutely well loved, throughout.
And thank you.
And I don't know if there's any stories that you've got that you want to share with us. Come on, there's got to be a couple of those ones.
Listen, I think I can mention one that I thought of when you said that.
Yes.
Is that part of the school, they reclaimed some of the junior bathrooms for office space.
Yes.
And moved toilet spaces further down.
Yeah.
And two of our heads of department were sitting in their office.
Yes.
And they heard a bit of a noise in the roof. And what had happened is one of the boys had got up into the roof above the toilets.
Yes.
And he was having his smoke in the roof.
Smoke up there. Those toilets on that side were definitely smokers' toilets.
That's right. And anyway, he just stood in the wrong place and he came straight through the ceiling. He landed on his ass on the floor in front of them. And all he said with the cigarette in his mouth is, "Oh."
Yeah. We dropped an F-bomb as well.
He dropped it.
Why?
And straight away, the teachers had to hold back their freaking laugh so much.
Sure.
But the poor boy hurt his coccyx. But it was,
I'm sure.
It came down quite
You
heavily.
know that.
You didn't even have to punish the lad.
It's like, it's okay, buddy. You nearly paralyzed
So
yourself.
we left the hole in the roof.
Did you?
We patched it up like temporarily, so you could always refer to it.
Oh, lovely. Well, I mean, it's always the schoolboy pranks and the things. I mean, I think we climbed in the roof during Mr. Blake's final speech, and I think we were up in the hall, shimmying along that little thing while he was doing his speech as well, trying to climb in and sign our names on the top there, which has probably been painted over by now, I'm sure. But
I must go up and check. I'm going to send someone up and check.
Yeah, I think so. It's quite hectic. It's quite hectic. And I mean, obviously staff as well. I mean, the staff that's been there has been there for a long time, which is a good...
We've had a very stable staff.
Which really says a lot about the school culture,
Yes,
and people want to be there.
I've been very blessed and privileged to have young teachers who've actually been headhunted by other schools that have decided to say no.
Oh, really?
Because and one knows then something good is happening.
Yeah.
And and I really to any of the young guys that I'm referring to, if they're listening, thank you guys. You made my days on those days, and still are, because that's a huge compliment to the school, to the community,
isn't it?
And to all of us. So really appreciate you.
Not going to take the extra money because
or the promotion.
There's
and you almost feel like saying to them, you're making a mistake. You've got to do these things. You've got to move to get somewhere.
Yeah.
But one appreciates the sentiment, and and they put their heart and soul into it.
And for sure, and obviously the school's grown as well. I mean, how many pupils are there at the moment?
We usually had around about 1,040.
1,000 then.
Yes.
I think when I was there, it was probably closer to 500. I can't remember, but I think it was.
Perhaps a little bit more than that. But we have about 210 per grade.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of kids. I mean, Andre was Stratham was saying he was
past governing body chairperson.
Governing body chairperson, and the amount of it saps you emotionally and mentally. Especially if there's kids with problems or
that's right.
You have that empathy. It's part of teaching, I suppose, But hell, man, it's difficult. How do you cope with that sort of thing?
We got to warn people that you can't take on too much personally.
Yeah.
You must show the interest, but you can't take it because it'll weigh you down terribly. Because you can imagine with 1,040 kids, there are a lot of kids that are struggling with things. There are a lot of parents' homes, especially in this COVID time. Perhaps one of the saddest moments of my life, teaching life, was early in COVID when a young girl lost both mother and father. And you can't help not feel for it.
Because they're young, still they're young.
Well, they're terribly young. And luckily, I think she had a support system, and I only wish her well. But those things are so sad.
Yeah.
But a lot of teachers take a lot upon themselves. They listen to people's problems. They are an ear. And I think that's why quite a couple of schools in PE. And remember, PE's got great schools.
Yeah.
I've got the greatest admiration for all of our competitor schools. There's really, people are lucky in Port Elizabeth to have good schools.
Absolutely.
But a lot of the schools see themselves as family schools.
Yeah.
That you are a family. You go leaving home and you're coming to another family.
Yeah.
And it is true about some of the, a good number of the schools in PE. And long may it last.
Yeah, but it also taxing on the staff and on a thing as well.
Yeah.
It's hectic to be a teacher like that. But one thing, you were just talking now about the other schools, and one thing I did notice about yourself and Peter Manser, and I think a couple of other guys, it was always together and having the jaw. Whenever there was a jaw on,
we need those jaws, and we enjoyed it.
And I think there was definitely, I don't know, Peter, I'm sure is a good mate of yours.
He is a good mate of mine.
Yeah, but wonderful to see that camaraderie between the principals.
Yes.
When we had, I remember we had I think it was a battle of the bands or something. We had all the bands coming from different schools, and you guys were having such a ball together.
No, listen, we actually formed in PE a little group, which we called the Friendly Principals Association.
Nice, I like that.
All like-minded schools. We'd meet once a term, we'd have some snacks, and we'd just have a chat about what's going on at schools, common challenges, frustrations, and happy times.
And help each other.
And it helped so much, and it's a lovely group. So yes, a lot of us as principals got on well together and have been known to have a cold one or two.
Yes, I know the one picture I have in my head is of you and Peter Manser with the arms around each other, dancing, and Father Grant from Priory, he was standing nearby and
Praying for us. He was praying for us.
praying. But also having a little whatever on the
Yes.
side. Oh, fantastic. And I mean, as principals, there's also these the national bodies as well.
Yes.
They get together as well.
Yeah, and
I think
SATA is a South African Teachers Association.
SASA, I think, but
And
that's
SAPA, sorry, the
it's
Principals
SAPA.
Association.
Okay, yeah.
And yes, and lovely conferences.
Yeah.
And a lot of good work gets done, but make no mistake, it's also time then
Yeah.
for us to let the hair down and be able
Yes.
to have a good chat together.
Yes, absolutely. And those are the times where you learn about your craft as well. You know,
You do.
And I'm sure you've got so much to teach the younger guys, especially as well. The older guys can impart that knowledge, which is
Yeah,
great.
that's it. As we learn a lot about our pupils on the sports fields and in the musical operas that you do and that, we learned a lot about each other as headmasters, going on conferences like that when we're out of our desk
Yeah.
or off the sports field.
Okay. Well, I think I've actually got we've actually got to rig it up here. Let me rig it. Oh, you want to rig it? Okay. We've got a little surprise for you just now. We're going to show you something online here as well. But
Is it? Okay.
Yes. But now I think as principal as a principal, it's different from teaching in terms of you've got to handle the staff mainly. Were you teaching as well as doing principal stuff?
I teach one lesson a day. I teach a
Okay.
class. I take a class through from grade 10 through to matric. So
It's important to
and
keep
I
in touch.
It is. I want to know what the teachers do go through. I know it's for only one period a day.
Yeah.
But at least I know what their cast consists of and what they have to produce, what the paperwork is, and keep in touch in that way.
Yeah.
And by the way, with me teaching, it was my fun hour of the day,
Oh,
where
really?
I could get out of my office and be
Yes.
myself. That's what I
Yes.
went into education for,
Yeah.
is to teach.
Yeah, of course.
And so I have still loved.
Okay.
And that, by the way, is what I'm hoping to do
Yeah.
once I have retired.
Okay, just a bit of
Is
teaching.
give it a little bit of chill, and if we are able to have one-on-one sessions,
Yes.
I'd love to do some extra maths, and in that way keep in touch with
Yeah.
people and just share that joy that kids bring. The
Well, you
kids
know-
are amazingly
Oh,
full of just the spirit of life, and it does keep one young, and I'd like to continue with that if I do.
but I think once you have sort of got rid of that mantle of having to be at school every single day and being the principal and being that responsibility as well frees you up. And then I think you're saying teaching, but I think there's going to be all sorts. I mean, I reckon, there's no rules. There are no rules.
No, that's right.
There's rules at school, but there's no rules out
It's
there.
going to
you
be,
know?
and it's going to be interesting to have the type of time to
Yes.
to do it. Yes.
Or actually just to be able to think about, okay, well, that I could get into that, or I could do that, and I think you're going to find a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes, I
you
wish
know.
I do, and also get time to do my own sport again.
Okay, of
Perhaps
course.
get onto a golf course.
That'll be nice.
My cousins in Utnag are big lawn bowlers,
Oh, nice.
and their family didn't. I've played the occasional
Yes.
social game, but that I can imagine can be something that one can go and enjoy.
Bowls. Bowls is mostly about drinking, though. You know that.
Yes, it's okay. And I've not been known to have a drink, so
Yes.
it'll be a new skill.
It'll be very
It'll be a
new
new
for you, I'm
skill
sure
that
you
we'll
do.
learn.
You're such a liar. Oh, fantastic. Oh, and I think the past pupils and that online, I see Cindy Bester. Hello, Mr. Vermaak there as well, and Mike Povey.
And see Karen Stradham down there.
Yes, Karen as well. Of course, she's was she head girl or deputy?
The head
or-
girl, and I taught her, yes. And
head girl as well there over the years, and it just there's always so much nostalgia attached to the school as
I
well.
remember, never forget her in her grade 9 year, standard 7 to us older people. But when she did the ABBA
Oh yes,
in the opera house,
yes.
never forget
I
this
was on drums.
this little soul.
Yes.
And I got the chills because absolutely beautiful.
Amazing.
And yeah, and she's gone from strength to strength.
Yeah, she was so young then.
And great to see her teaching maths.
Such a big voice.
Good luck, Karen. Oh, beautiful voice.
Is it? I love it. I see Renette David saying hello there. What a fantastic principal. Lots of love from the Colbys.
Oh, hello.
That's Bruce and
Yes.
Michael and Taylor. Michael and Taylor, I think, are matriculating this year.
That's also something that's unique to VP this year.
Yeah.
Our prefects, we call them counsellors.
Okay.
And there'd be between 24 and 30 out of the class of 200.
Okay. Jeez.
And our counsellor group this year, the matriculants of this year, they're 3 pairs of twins.
Yo.
And that's absolutely amazing that you get that all in one counsellor body.
Yeah.
So the Colbys is one set of twins.
Gee, was it
and
so?
then 2 others. And of course, I've got a soft spot for them because
Yeah.
I had to pay and pray Dr. Dalmayer for having kids.
Oh,
We
really?
battled to have children.
Okay.
And it's something that is big in my life to be able to have kids later. And I also got twin girls. So.
Twins as well, yeah. It's quite heavy. It's 2 in 1, just bang, just like that. Oh no! The Tour de France. Adrian Janssen, I see, wants to know if you remember anything about the Tour de France.
There are pieces of the Tour de France that I do remember. The staff set out from PE to go and watch a rugby test in Cape Town.
Oh, really?
But it was a road trip of note.
Oh, I see. Against France,
A
obviously.
lot of no. We did the rules in the bus. Everything was according to the Tour de France cycle thing.
Oh, I see.
So we had the yellow jersey and the green jersey and
Did you do blood
Man of the
transfusions as well?
Mountain and all we. But make no mistake, there was a lot of camaraderie, and it was a good trip. And the Bokke actually won.
Hey,
and
that's the best.
Adrian, I'd love to share even more about that tour, but it was one of the happiest times we've had. What a lovely
man,
time.
That is so cool. And Gerda van der Vijver there, I see, says gave so much of himself to the kids and staff. Yeah. And like I was saying, you have to, you're giving of yourself all the time. Yeah, so
By the way, Gerda, I want to say hello to Gerda. It's my sister-in-law.
Oh.
So hello, Gerda. Nice of you to pop on.
It's your sister, when she in PE as well?
Yes, she's a
It's also-
sister-in-law, my wife's sister.
Okay. You've got a big family. Have you got a big family?
My wife was one of 7 kids, and I was one of 4. So we have got a big family. And
that's big. That's big.
we-
7 kids. That's a lot of shoes.
that's a lot of shoes to fill in Utenay.
You know. Oh, my word. And so you moved to PE obviously as well.
Yes, that's right. When I became principal, that was obviously a move that I wanted to and had to make, and very happily stayed in Warmer Heights then. And very happy there. Yes.
Yeah, it's nice. It's PE's the 10-minute town. You know what I mean?
It is. Yes, it still is.
I'm just trying to see if Gary's ready with my thing. Have we got something? Let's have a look. Hand it over here.
Just that one.
Okay, just this one. Okay, let's have a look. There's one. Stick that in your ears. We've got a special guest coming in here. Just say, how's it? We thought we'd find at least one special guest that we could have come to say hello. And so we called on Derek Alberts. Derek?
Hello, Derek.
How are you doing, Mr. Vermaak?
Good, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Likewise.
Very good.
Likewise.
Are you hearing us okay? And you're not echoing back?
No, I'm fine.
Okay,
Thanks,
good.
Gene.
Okay. See, the radio guy's got this huge microphone. He's trying to intimidate us, basically, with his microphone.
It's all about the size. It's not about how you use it. Unfortunately, I can't do either.
Everything's big about Derek.
Derek, ex-VP, Derek, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks, Jeans. You know, I've socialized with Mr. Vermaak since leaving VP, and it's hard always to refer to him as Mike, because you'd know you always refer to your teachers as Mr. and Mrs. and it's amazing. We go back many years, and he was Mr. Vermaak. You were still vice principal when I matriculated, and I'll never forget. I know you'll never forget it either. And I spoke about it on the show not too long ago, but I don't think I went into too much detail. I got into a little bit of trouble about something, and I was sitting in Mr. Vermaak's office, and he said, listen, because he spoke about counselors, so I was one, albeit for a few months. And and I sat in his office, and he said, "Do me a favor, please. I'm going to do my best to fight for you to keep your counselor badge, but I want you to stay out of the headlines as long as you can promise me that."
Yes.
And I said, "No problem." And that afternoon, I had rugby initiation for the new guys, made them do that naked run down 6th Avenue warmer, and the next day we were on the front page of the Herald.
Thanks,
I literally,
You did the one thing he asked you not to.
so I mean, Mike is a magic man. Unfortunately, he couldn't do that much magic because I expressly went against what he asked for. But oh man, it was great being a student under your tutelage. I don't actually remember if I was in any of your classes, but I remember I had a great affinity with you, and that was amazing because the rapport that we had. Because Peter Holley was the principal at the time, and didn't really chat to him that much. But you and I used to chat a hell of a lot. Usually, probably because I was in trouble most of the time. But I really enjoyed it. It was a hell of a lot of fun. And you know, I think one of my biggest regrets in life is not going on one of those Euro tours. And I remember how you used to advertise it, and you used to say how travel is the best education you can get. And I'm lucky enough to have traveled a fair bit since then. And I keep on extolling those virtues onto my daughter. Traveling is just everything. And I've got you to thank for a lot of that.
No, absolute pleasure. So nice to see you.
Yeah, no,
you know, he's become very famous now on super sports and everything.
Yes.
You know, does very nicely for himself. He's making huge amounts of money now, so it's time for to send some back to Rebecca Fundin.
Yeah, Gino's always the comedian. You can see the jokes keep on flowing, and a few lies too.
You know.
But Mike, it's been great seeing you and great chatting to you.
Nice thanks, Jerry.
It's sad to see you go.
Again.
Yeah, sad to see you leave VP, but I know for a fact you're going to make a success of whatever you do. And I was amazed to hear about how well you did as a football player back in your youth. So I think you should advertise that a bit more.
That's good. There's some talents that we didn't know about. You know what I mean? And now we know, because VP has always been great for soccer. I don't know if it was when you were there as well, Derek, but certainly when I was there, the soccer team did well. You know. And
yeah, they were.
Around. It was always rugby.
They were a decent side. Look, I was always in the rugby team, and we didn't do as well. But but the football side, I mean, it went from strength to strength. And remember, I think you were at Clarendon too, if I'm not mistaken, Gino.
Yes, I was at Clarendon. Yes.
And Clarendon's a massive feeder school to VP. Yeah. And Clarendon was a massive football school. And I remember at one stage we had Miss Bradley, who was a female coach, and that was big news at the day. Yes. And I mean, she was undefeated for like 4 years. And a lot of those players ended up going to VP and making a name for themselves on the football field.
Yes, I actually saw Des Bradley the other day. She's still going strong. I saw her in Park Drive. I drove past. I was like, "Hey, that's Des Bradley." She still looks the same as she did when we knew her. She hasn't aged a bit.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same for me. But,
for all of us.
The one thing about Des Bradley is that she could throw a duster at you. She didn't throw like a girl. When she threw a duster at you, it was going through your head. You know?
You had to duck.
You know, funny enough, I think, Mr. Vermaak, if I'm not mistaken, that Tour de France that you had, it coincided with my 10-year reunion at VP.
Yes.
It was a Friday, and I actually flew to Cape Town the next day as well for that game. It was against the Wallabies.
All right.
And you did a very naughty thing, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know.
There we go.
I don't know if you remember. This was actually very naughty. So we had our 10-year reunion, and Gina, I think you've probably been to the reunions where we sit in the front row in the hall on the Friday during assembly, and all the students are there. And
Marvelous.
Mike was advertising Interact, and Interact, as all VP people know, is a tremendous foundation that do very charitable causes. And he advertised sleeping bags that Interact had decided to make and donate to the homeless. And he said, "I'd like to call Derek on stage." So up I went, and he said, "Okay, this is in front of everyone. And he said, cool, can you get into the sleeping bag and demonstrate it for us? So I said, yeah, sure. So I put it on. And he said, cool, just lie down. So I lay down with the sleeping bag. And he said, okay, cool, that's done. Thank you very much. So, okay, and I got up and I started walking down. And he said, and that, ladies and gents, is the first and last time you'll see Derek Alberts alone in bed.
I surely couldn't have said that.
Yeah, no. It's all
Good
it's
stuff.
all lies. It's all lies.
Good
We
stuff.
won't believe it, not a word.
But
Oh,
great
thanks,
seeing you, Mr. Vermaak.
Okay.
Yeah, Derek, thank you, man. Thanks
Cheers.
for popping on. That was a good story.
Cheers.
You're
Cheers.
running naked down the road, honestly. It's ridiculous.
Front page of the Herald.
Front page of the. Just stay out of the headlines. It was. You didn't mean actually like real headlines.
No,
anyway,
just
Fly
under the radar.
That's it. Well, I think, Mike, it's probably time now for. Some comments. Let's have a look at some of the comments. Karen, I teach maths today because of this man, says Karen Stratham.
Hey,
She does-
Karen.
And Karen's a fantastic teacher. I've also had lots of love coming in from her
Yeah,
as well, the Elstone
good.
Academy there. And Mike Povey, well done, Mike. Remember the good old days, Drosty Park.
Yeah, soccer club.
Was it a
That
soccer
was
club?
a soccer club
That
in
sounds like a
Utrecht.
Utnake.
That's right.
Because everything was Drosty this and Drosty that.
Roster, yeah.
Is it? Cindy Lee Bester.
Hi,
hello
Cindy.
there. Let's see, Philip. Has your role as a school leader changed at all over the years? Yeah, schools have changed, and you've lived through that.
Listen, when I started and before I started, you were the head of teaching and learning,
Yeah.
and extramural.
Yeah.
In years since then, it's become a business.
Yeah,
You need a PR, you need marketing people, you need a fantastic financial team. It's a business now.
Yeah.
So your job, one's got to fight to fit in teaching and learning.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
true.
changed a lot.
When we do this, when you've got kids and you go into this high school thing, it's always seems to be about the sport as well,
Yeah.
And it's just so sport focused in a
is.
lot of schools, and like you say, you got to fight for that.
You got
for
to
that
fight.
space.
That's right.
For the,
Because
for the,
most of your job is running a business,
marketing, isn't it?
marketing, PR.
Yeah. To get the right pupils, get the people that are, try and is Andre Erasmus saying, how's it, Andre
Andre.
Erasmus? Still
Haven't
looking
seen
chipper.
Andre for a while.
No, he's overseas there. Camilla Ellis BP shaped my career as a librarian. She's at the Warmer Library as well. Camilla spent most of my high school bunking class to work in the library. That's not really bunking officially, Camilla. You don't bunk and then go to the library, for goodness sakes. Mr. Vermaak gave me some extra math lessons. Helped tremendously. Well, there you go. There's an advert for your
There's
first.
for the new ones,
For
yeah.
the new ones. Kerry Chappell saying, how's it? Enjoy your well-earned retirement indeed.
Hello, Kerry.
I've got my doubts whether he's going to be retiring too much and he's going to be doing all sorts. Fantastic principal. Lots of love from the Colbys there as well, I see, yes. And Gerda, yes, Irene Giaconi, I see there as well. And Stephen Glass, where's Stephen? Only reason he passed maths. Well, you're lucky then. Happy retirement, Mr. Principal and family. From the Giaconis, just Italians. The Italians, they are there. Say hello for the Italians. Hayley Smith, how's it, Hayley? Missed those fundraisers.
Hello, Hayley.
Hayley's a specialist fundraiser.
Yes,
She can
she's
whip
brilliant.
up a party.
She's
Byron
brilliant.
Sampson, there we go, Mr. Vermaak. Geraldine Money, there we go. This is another teacher. That's what she taught me.
Yeah.
Mr. Laura, she was in those days, I think, if I remember correctly. And Karen Stratham,
Proudly Victorian, Karen.
Yes, always been. Kevin Armstrong saying, how's it? I see Rachel. Is it Rachel Cummins?
That's right.
Rachel Rachel May. There we go. Best Euro 2017. She was just before. Actually, that's 2020 was lockdown. Monique Besson. Yeah, 88 VP, 88 there going proudly VP as well. So many people online. Thanks for trying your best to help me with my maths. Well, we can only try, Caroline. But yeah.
And I must have suspended her.
And
Sorry,
suspended.
Carolyn.
Sorry about that suspension, but your maths was just too cock. I'm sorry. Carol Watson, Carol van Goverens as well, also came through VP. The whole bloody lot of them. I think Greg, her brother Greg, was with me in '88. I was so lucky to travel Europe with Mike. Was that with her sons? Must have been with Lyle or Matthew, I think it was. Must have been that it went on that tour with you. She was so that must be amazing. That
is a bit. Lovely.
All right, I've got now the quicker questions we've got now. The getting to know you questions, Mike, before we get carried away. Yeah.
Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Okay, there we go. Do you have any hobbies or recreational activities that you like to do in your spare time?
My biggest passion in life is sport.
Yeah.
So actually, school has helped coincide my passion and my work.
Okay.
So a lot of what I've done now is spending Saturdays and that at the school with the sport and that type of thing. And but looking forward to being able to do a little bit of my own. Oh, a bit of golf and a bit of golf.
A bit of golf. Quickly, and we just do a safety audio check there as well every now and again. What's the best thing that happened to you this year? Cool.
Listen, I think the best thing that happened to me this year, and it happened just a week or two ago.
Yeah.
My wife had kidney cancer 5 years ago, and she showed some signs of it again and went for a test, and it came back negative. So that's probably the happiest thing that happened to me.
That's a good thing.
And it was lovely. And just so great to have her, my darling, with me still.
Yes, of course. And these things are always, I'm 51 now as well, you know, Mark. I'm getting on in years myself. And you've got to go for your checkups and do your things, but there's always that outside chance.
And she couldn't go because of COVID last year.
Of course.
So it had been 2 years.
2 years.
So it was a bit of a worry beforehand.
Do the check. It's
check.
okay. It's
yes,
okay. We're still all right.
That is the happiest.
We're still all right. Yeah. I'll tell you. Biggest challenge you're facing at the moment?
Just undeniably just COVID.
Yeah.
And battling with homes that have lost incomes, battling with kids that have just not been able to cope, and teachers not been able to cope with how life has changed, and psychologically are feeling it, emotionally are feeling it. So that's probably the biggest challenge, and kids are lost without the sport and the musicals and all of those things. They're looking for an out. Only just at the end of last term, when level 1 started again, we could actually do a Mr. and Miss VP night and a cultural evening night and an interact induction dinner. But the joy that came out of there, kids were even singing hymns as though it's the greatest thing they've ever sung.
Oh, wow.
You know,
together
again. And you remember "Oh for a Thousand Tongues"? VP's one, but they sang it so, and it's just so lovely to have that back. So that's one of the happier things.
That is great. I remember was Jessica van Koeverden there as well. She was saying that and they had the whole Mr. VP. They loved that stuff. We've got a couple of kids that we know as well that are at the school, and they're loving it as well.
Yeah, lovely, nice to hear.
But what you touched on there as well is also this thing that's been a recurring theme about with COVID is the depression and the stuff that, you know, it's been hectic and particularly at this time, if you haven't got those tools to help you, you know,
they're missing all of that. And
is there been at school? Have you seen an uptick in the?
Yes, our school counsellors are busy. Especially our lady counsellor Linda Truter. She's seen a lot of people and really doing a good job, but it's tough. It's tough.
I can imagine. I mean, and if the kids are dealing with the teachers as well, it's like, you know, it's just like it's almost like a vortex you can get into. So it's got to, as a school, you've got to be as a principal, you've got to be the tough one. You've got to be the one of the tough, and it's tough for you as well.
And you haven't got the answers always, and sometimes you're feeling down.
Yeah, for sure.
Much so.
Yeah, slow. So, okay, so someone that you respect, let's have someone that is perhaps a mentor or somebody that mentored you, and then somebody with contrary views to yourself that you respect.
Okay, mentor-wise,
Yeah.
when I taught at Muir, I had Paul Ellis as a headmaster, and he was just an amazing mentor in every way.
Really?
In so many things, whether it was the sports field, the classroom, just him being a gentleman,
Yeah.
him being a Rotarian, all of that, it's just what I found I valued in life as well.
Yeah.
And he imparted that on me, and he also then taught us that he'd never say no to any requests from his young staff members.
Yeah.
But he always said, I'll give you enough rope to hang you. So there was always and yes, so he is somebody that in my career I can look back to and say, oh, thank you, Paul.
Yes. Is he still around?
He's still around. He's
going
still in
strong?
PE. Yes.
Excellent. I wonder if he's even on the Facebook. I don't know. Somebody tag him if he's on, because that deserves a round of virtual applause. You know, and then somebody with views contrary to your own that you actually respect. Is there something like that? It's a difficult question.
Not one that I can think of at the moment.
Yeah.
I've always said to kids when I'm doing prefect training, counselor training, and leadership, and I said there's quite a number of leaders in life that one respects despite knowing they're wrong.
Right.
Eugene Terreblanche, Hitler, who were doing things that you really thought, but somehow the charisma of the people made them good leaders, despite them you having a totally different opinion. And
well, it's just sort of marketing, isn't it? It's so crazy. It's crazy. And who has been the kindest to you in your life?
my mother.
Your mother.
My mommy.
My
mom had my back. And let me tell you, my twin girls, they've also got my back.
Yeah.
They will. Got to tell you a little story there.
Yeah.
When I was looking for a house in PE,
Yeah.
twins were tiny. We were still living in Utnag. And my wife tried to get hold of me because my dad had somehow, or I hadn't told my dad that he had to fetch the kids from school.
Oh, right.
So my wife had got a message
Yeah.
from the school, is that your girls are standing on the pavement crying. She tried
Parenting 101.
She tried to get hold of me, but I didn't answer my cell phone.
Yes, of
so
course.
she tried. She was running a staff social function at the university. She had to jump into her car and ride back to Utnag to go and do this. And she got hold of it and she said to the kids over there, when your father gets on it, take the hammer and I'm going to smash his phone into 1,000 little pieces. Anyway, when I heard what it, I flew home.
Yes.
Got home to
With a lot of sorries
Utnag. Got
in your
home to
mind.
Utnag, knocked on the front door, and these two little ones were standing at the door. Dad, we've hidden the hammer. So I don't call someone that has your back. I call it they'll hide the hammer for you. So my two, and so they've got my back completely.
It's classic. They hidden the hammer away.
They hid it in the
That must
garage.
be a scary mommy, that one. Oh, man. Okay, and so that's the kindness for you in life. When in life have you felt the most alone?
I had a tough health patch about 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And had to miss quite a lot of work. And during that time, I felt very alone. It was a tough time. And really glad I've been able to bounce out of it and well now. But that was and feeling lonely is not easy.
Yeah, and depression is it's a hell of a thing. I mean, I've had quite a few guests on that have had a bipolar thing, or they've got into depression as well. And we even had Sia was saying that he even tried to take his own life, from the boardwalk.
Yeah.
And he speaks openly about it because that's the way to do it.
It's real. You've got to get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't talk about it, it just festers, or it just pushes you into that zone.
Yeah.
Ian von Memety is one. He's also had this bipolar thing throughout his life, and he always says that his kids. He realized when his kids said. Sort of turned to his wife Vivian and said, he's so much better on the meds. You realise that? Just take the bloody meds, because really, do what you need to do.
Yeah. So that was a lonely time.
That's a tough time. And
despite having support of my family and all of that, it was really fantastic.
Yeah.
But you still...
Even still with that, and that's the thing. It's a fight. It's a fight, isn't it? It's something that I don't experience, but I've certainly through my guests that have spoken about it. I realised that it's not something that you choose or something that just happens.
It isn't. And
it's almost chemical, and it's going to happen.
And it's so good to come out the other side.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, I'm glad you did. Well, you've
Thank
done
you.
jolly well, young man. Okay, let's see. What makes you the most proud of your career so far?
The fact that I think I've been able to make a difference in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
Really am proud of that. And one doesn't realize it until you get to things like reunions or something.
Yes.
And someone will come that you hardly remember, but will come and say, it was that day in that day that made me become a teacher, or that thing happened and I believe in myself now because you believed in me.
Yes.
So that's, I think, what makes me the proudest of my career. That I have made a difference in some people's lives.
That change, and like I said, it's such a small portion of your life, but yet you are so influenced, and you've got to have the right people in that spot to do it.
Yeah.
And absolutely, that's fantastic. What do you think your unique skill is that helps you become successful?
I love people.
Yeah.
And I think I love people. I love watching people. I love interacting with people. So, yes, I think that had stood me in good stead in the job that I'm in. The fact that I do genuinely love people. Yeah. Even if I'm crossed with someone, it doesn't mean I don't love them still.
Yes.
And so, yes, that has helped me.
That takes a lot to step back and say, okay, I'm really bloody angry, but let's look at the big picture.
Yeah.
It's you.
So, yes,
it's a skill.
And it's, it's a gift from God that you do have to be able to love.
Are you spiritual as well?
I am spiritual.
Yeah. And so strategies to help you make big decisions. Have you got any strategies?
Listen, I was a very compulsive decision maker in the beginning. But life has taught me that you step back a little bit, consult with others, speak with people, and 9 out of 10 times you come out with a much better solution than your spontaneous one. But when one is young and confident and cocky, you just can make the decision.
You go. So what's the worst decision that you made? Come on, there must be a couple.
Coming on to Gino's show.
You tell me. There's lots of acts now coming on and say, how's that?
No, I don't know.
No, nothing, no big cock-ups that you can remember.
No true confessions.
Okay, all right. Nothing. All right. What do you wish you'd known when you started out?
I think I wish I'd known that one must take your time to get into different positions. Sometimes you go into it too quickly. I got my first HOD post after 4 years. And that was early. It was too early. I suppose now looking back, I'm glad I did do it. But I think each step, and I think to youngsters there, don't be over hasty. Build up a good foundation in the level you're at. And then from there, when you're ripe for it, move to the next stage.
You've got the time as a youngster. You've got the time to do it. But also, if you don't take that jump, sometimes you won't learn quick enough. Maybe learn quick enough. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword there. Gary's putting on a question here on the screen. Says, tell us about your stodgy varsity opening batsman partner.
I wonder if that is Stapes.
That must be Stapes.
Stapes, even I scored quicker than you did.
Alan Stapleton was always cricketer, but a bit stodgy. And
No. He took his time, did Stapes.
Was he like a Fotheringham?
Yes, he was like a Fotheringham.
He was like a Fotheringham, opening up there, taking his time to do the Gary Kirsten moves.
Yeah.
Okay. The most important lesson that you've learned in life? What would you say?
Never be scared to say you're sorry.
Yeah.
I've learned, because we all make mistakes often.
Yeah.
And I think it's a lot easier if you have made the mistake to own it.
Yeah.
And admit it, and so never be scared to say, humble yourself to say, listen, I'm sorry.
And it opens that communication line as well. It's like when you send a text to someone, or you phone them, or you speak to them directly. It's all those things come into play that humans have developed over thousands of years to recognize.
That's right.
The way your eyes look, the way your face
That's
looks,
right.
you can read somebody. You say sorry, or you speak to someone directly, and it's way better than a text or
Cell phones are a menace.
They are a menace.
They are a menace.
They are a menace. Oh my word. Is something recently? Is there anything recently that's moved you?
Not actually, no.
Not recently.
Not anything recently that really moved.
Not hectic. Okay, we'll
I think the thing that's moved me most is, if seen we in COVID, we keep on speaking about is to see kids that have been ill and parents that have been ill coming back and are okay again. And never fail to stop and say thank you. Because, we've had some tough ones. I had to do the eulogy for a very good friend who passed away very suddenly with that, and still can't believe Charmaine's not around.
Incredible. Being at a school and having 1,000 pupils, you're going to see that much quicker than somebody who's not working with.
So many. That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, it's your strangest superstition.
I have lots of superstitions.
Hey, do you?
I am. I'm a superstitious guy.
Is it? You walk on the cracks of
Yes, and I'll throw the salt over my shoulder. And if I've used one cricket bat for cricket and had it in a certain way, I'd then do the same the next time. If I had lucky socks on that time, I'll wear them until they become unlucky. So yes, and I got that from my mom. So unfortunately, true confessions, I'm a terribly superstitious guy. Ashamedly so.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Because there's so many people say, no, I'm not superstitious. I'm superstitious about everything. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, the most nervous that you've ever been?
After I'd been ill, going back to work.
Okay.
Because I'd been off for a couple of months. And when I went back, would you be accepted? Is the new person that you become or would that be accepted when you get back? And yes, I was very nervous.
So it was really like a change in you as well.
You do feel a change because I lost my confidence a bit.
Okay.
And in your job, that's what you need the most. So yes, until I built it up again. But in that time, make no mistake, one was nervous about a lot of things.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's a brave thing to have to come through something like that as well.
Yeah, that's why I feel I should speak about it. Yes. There are other people that will go through similarly, and I thought I was bulletproof.
Yeah.
I was the happiest guy alive. I'm an optimistic guy. Yeah. So I didn't ever think it would happen with me. So
strong. I mean, you've always been strong. There's nothing.
Yes.
But
thought so. So yes. So it is worth speaking about because people can and people will go through. Yeah. But there is light at the end of the tunnel, and
there are people out there now. Who are feeling like that as well. So it really does help. And what would your advice to them be?
Plow your way through it. Rely on your friends and family.
Yeah.
Like me, my wife, Annalyn, she was just an absolute superstar through everything.
Yeah.
Backed me with anything, loved me even when I didn't deserve to be loved.
Yeah.
And yes, so
Yeah.
yes.
And just talking help us. How would, because
Talking does help, but I'm unfortunately not one that when I'm like that I don't talk much. That's a failing.
Yeah, okay.
I should speak more.
Should get out.
My wife said I went from verbal diarrhea to constipation.
Verbal constipation. Oh dear. Yeah. That's true. So I mean that's good stuff, Mike. Because really, like there are more people than you think out there that are battling, and they can be happy on the exterior, but on the inside they're breaking up. You know, it's very tough. It's very tough. So thank you for that. The craziest, most out of character thing you've ever done.
Really don't know.
Other than the Tour de France. I'm scared to ask what happened during the Tour de France to the Wallabies.
No, Gino, I'd be having to make something up there.
Okay, no, that's fine. Have you got a current obsession? Or have you had any obsessions? You know, do you get into a focus mode?
I think my biggest obsession has been my work.
Yeah.
It's become a big part of my life,
Yeah.
and very often it's taken up more time than it should in life. But it's been my passion and my obsession. So
Okay.
it's something that I love at the same
Yes,
time
yes.
as being.
Well, I think it doesn't become an obsession unless you love it as well.
Yes, yeah.
That's
So that I think.
Yeah. Just Grady's asking, did you manage to pinpoint the cause of your depression, or was it chemical, or was it and what changed to allow you to get past it? That's what Gary's asking now. I think a lot of people would probably want to know that too. You know?
I worked my way through it.
Yeah.
Took a bit of time.
Yeah.
And as I say, just with loved ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Made a big difference having loved ones around,
Yeah.
having brothers around, having people with little messages, and yes, and
to know that they cared about you, and I mean to open yourself up like that as well is also you have to do it.
Otherwise, you're going to stay in that hole.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so how's your perspective of the world over time? Has it changed?
The world's changed. It's the whole digital age.
The world has changed. As well.
It has changed. Digitally, you know, you youngsters, I mean, we see them at school.
Yeah.
We used to be taught with talk and chalk.
Yeah.
The kids now have cell phones.
Yes.
They have 99 channels of TV. Everything's fast. Everything is beautiful.
Yeah.
And I think cell phones and the digital age has changed people's relationships and everything. Never forget when my kids were young, took them to the boardwalk. There were 6 of them in the car.
Yeah.
And they were on the phones. I said, no, Dad, we're chatting to each other. They were on that old stuff called Mix It.
Yes,
Mix It. And they were mixing each other. But in the car, I just said, why the hell didn't you flip and speak to the person?
It's right next to you, man, for goodness sake.
So yes, I think there's some big changes.
Okay, your favorite place to visit in the world?
Little place in Switzerland called Interlaken.
Oh, lovely.
Absolutely beautiful. It's got a lake, a river that runs through it.
Beautiful.
And when we went on our bureau tours, I started a tradition that in the waters of Switzerland, we would all strip down to our costumes and we'd go in. You'd see the locals, they thought we were absolutely mad. You basically almost had to break the ice to get in. Yeah. But to qualify for a prize that night, you had to have full immersion.
All right, full immersion.
You had to dive in and come out the other side, and people would be on the side with towels and rubbing you down. Then we'd walk through the town back to our little hotel. And
lovely.
But it's got a special place.
Freezing cold, man. Okay, let's have a look at some more comments here. Gary's saying there's some more comments coming through. Put retirement on hold, says Brian Wilkinson. Easy for you to say, Brian. You're already retired. Still capable of a few years as headmaster. Bishop Sachs. KS and Gray. You could just end off with a quick Sachs or something. There we go. Justin Moore says, I'm sure we'll see you on the golf course, Mike, and Gino with my pineapple. Yeah, I'll be with my pineapple suit.
Have you got a pineapple suit?
I've totally got a pineapple
And
suit.
to play golf in?
I have been around the golf course in it,
In a
and
pineapple
I've hit a
suit.
few balls with it, but I haven't played officially with my pineapple suit. But maybe it's time, Justin. Maybe it's time. Elroy Coast says, enjoy the retirement as well. Lovely. Davina, proudly Victorian. She's driving our Victorians.
Yes,
Davina,
she's
a lot of
awesome.
the time, eh? We love you. We love you, Mr. Vermaak. Happy retirement. Best years awaiting for you, says Ingrid. I see the Liesel van der Westhuizen. Jamie will miss her favourite teacher.
Yo, I've had a lot to do with Jamie's parents here.
Really?
Her grandfather and I were in Round Table together.
Oh, Round
And-
Table. We've heard about those
and,
guys.
And we did the melodramas.
Oh, my God.
And her grandfather used to do the piano. And once I was too old for Round Table, when I turned 40, because
Yes.
then you got to get out.
Rotary, then you
I
go
used
to
to do the MCing for it too.
soul.
So we did a lot of fun things together. And yes, it's been an absolute privilege to have the very bright Jamie in my class this year.
Lovely, Jamie. That's we're going to follow her grandfather's footsteps, throwing peanuts at people. Mimi Rapp, huge respect for Mike. Thank you, Mimi. Devin Wicks, sad to see you leave, Uncle Mike.
Thanks, Dev.
There we go. Yummy Eats, you like that? That's Fat Cats. We haven't yet really charged some of those because we're talking so much here. But it's been fantastic from Fat Cats. Thank you. Leanne Daniels' Euro tour was the best. You never forget something like that. I mean, Leanne's probably going to remember for the rest of her life. Euro tour. Monique Besson, cool jacket, needs to be framed. This one, eh? Like it. Monique, check. I've even got my squash and my choir. I like badges, you know, to get the badges.
I think you should do a song with your choir voice, not
yes.
your Gino stage voice.
Ooh, that one. And I've got cadet band. I must tell you a story about a
And
cadet band.
Dr. Clark could join you in.
Yes, Dr. Joan Clark. She
Dr.
was
Joan.
a fantastic singer as well.
And,
wasn't she?
and a fantastic person.
Yes,
Lots of love for Joan.
Gem, absolute gem. Doreen Finnis saying, God bless for his future. And and I always remember you're saying, reach for the moon. And if you can't reach it, fall among the stars.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely. That's a nice song. It's like, it's a thing on David Gresham's keep your feet on the ground and reach for the stars.
It's one of my teachers, Lydia.
Playing heads and tails.
I've just got a way of getting a winner of a raffle
Yes,
by playing heads
heads
and
and
tails.
tails. I like that.
And
I
it
like
works
that.
well in the staff room.
It does. Reunions won't be the same. All the best for the future. So
Enjoy, Justin.
There's Unati. Happy retirement. Thank you for the great years at VPHS. Proudly.
Thank the Thurs.
The Tozes, indeed. And the best principal I ever had.
So I must have been the only one.
Oh, man. No, that's lots of love coming through here. All right, let's get to a couple more of these questions here. The oldest thing that you owned?
The oldest thing that I own.
Yes, you can't say your wife. You've got to say something like a thing.
Lovey Gino said that, eh?
I just...
I've got a jacket that I got when I was very young, and somehow just seemed to. I must have bought it very big because I was a scrawl little oakie.
You can still wear it.
And it still can be worn. It's a navy jacket, and it can be worn.
There's it, that one. And he
It
still
is.
wears it because it's his lucky jacket. Oh, my word. Okay, so I think this might be the oldest thing I own now.
Yeah.
I've still got my matric stuff in it. I've got my matric results and everything in here. She's like... any ambitions or bucket list items you still want to do? You must have thought about that now.
Obviously, a little bit of travel.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the cards for
Okay.
when we can settle. And
Yeah.
no, I'm trying to think if there's other. I
any
actually got
bucket
it.
list.
I'm gonna speak to you in a year's time.
Yeah,
when I'm able
when
to
you're
sit
going to have a
and-
chance to think about it. I'm sure everything's kind of rushed at the moment as well because with you leaving next year, there's stuff to do, there's things to sort out, and it all becomes a bit of a blur, doesn't it? But I'm sure there's going to be things. There's going to be stuff you think, oh, I wouldn't mind trying that.
Yes.
Certainly while you're having a drink at the bowls club. Okay, if you could go to any concert, past or present, which one would it be?
In this musical thing, probably be Freddie Mercury,
Freddie, he's the man, eh?
because he was just such a showman.
Bit of Queen.
And I've got to also make true confessions. I just love Robbie Williams.
Oh, really?
He's
He
live
was
at
brilliant.
Nebworth,
Yes.
the concert. I would have given anything to be there.
Man, we went to Durban. Somebody else, who was it that went to Durban? Our last guest.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it was though. He was saying that they went to Robbie Williams and loved that concert. That was such a good one.
My wife says she'll leopard crawl over broken glass to get a Bon Jovi concert.
Oh, really? She likes that. The torn jeans. And
she likes that voice.
You want it dead or alive? Oh man, that's classic. Oh, and a question that I would love to ask is the first record that you ever bought.
Moody Blues.
Moody Blues.
The Moody Blues.
Oh my soul! I think you're also the second one to say Moody Blues. There was somebody else that said Moody Blues the other day. No, was it Night? No, it wasn't.
Not Nights and White Saturday.
No, it was, which one was it? Was it 1,000,000 to 1? They said the chances of anything coming from Mars.
Or 1,000,000 to 1.
Yeah.
So no, that was my first
The good
LP.
From your own money.
My own money.
Your own money.
That's
You
my
bought
own
the
money.
Moody Blues. They're a little bit vanilla, sort of a little bit like boring, eh? But Moody
Yes,
Blues.
no, listen, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
they're not still my favourites, but it was my first
Yes.
LP.
Good one.
It was my first LP.
I wonder what drew you to that. Maybe it was the album cover or something.
Maybe.
Okay. Do you collect anything?
No.
You don't do a collector. You're not a hoarder.
No, listen, I collect a bit of whiskey and wine.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
I've got quite a
Single malts.
couple of single malts, yes, and
Nice.
still from my 60th birthday, I've got quite a few of those.
Nice.
That
Very
was nice. So I do enjoy keeping some of those.
Do you like a bit of peat or the peaty stuff or the smoky stuff? Or
I like the smoky stuff.
smoky stuff like a...
Seeing I don't smoke.
Yes.
That's been one of
You drink it with the whiskey.
that's one of those things that I'm so glad I've never done. Is smoke.
Smoking, yes.
Yeah.
No. I had an uncle that was Uncle Stan, and he spoke with his voice box removed. So when we were like 8 years old, he would come and say, "Hello, boys," and we were like, "What the hell?" We said, "Granny, why does Uncle Stan speak like that? He smokes. That's why." Shit, we were never going to smoke in our lives. We were put off for life for that. I'll tell you what. Okay, insider knowledge about being a principal, which people might not know.
I think people are aware of it, but I think it's just the scope of your job is just so broad.
Everything.
And I had to get used to that. You're always on show.
Yeah.
You can't go to the local grocery store and be anonymous. Someone's going to see you and someone's going to... So, and there's certain places you just can't go to.
Yeah.
You can't go to a thing that's going to be a really good party.
Yeah.
Because
you're going to be... Yeah.
Someone that's there, that's enjoying it, will say, "But what's he doing here?"
What's he doing here? Mike Vermaak from VP, he was totally blottos. But now you can, Mike. I mean, it's close enough. Let me tell you can go to some parties this year.
They are. When I'm out, okay.
Even before you're out, what they're going to do? Fire you. Come on. It is time for Mike Vermaak. Guys, invite him to some parties. We're ready to go to the parties now. Doesn't matter what he does. If he gets pissed, it's fine now. Oh, no. Okay. Is there ever, what are you looking forward to in the coming months? I mean, your retirement, but is there anything specific that you're looking forward to?
We've got a little permanent caravan out at Bushman's.
Oh, really? Trailer park stuff.
Trailer park stuff. Trailer park
at Bushman's.
Instead of having a tent on, they built little wooden shack in the place where the tent would be.
Okay, they used to do that at Keerboom's.
Yes, it's a happy place for me.
Oh, is that yours?
My dad actually bought it, and I bought it from him. or our family has
okay.
bought it. It's not only mine, it's our family's.
Okay.
So I enjoy it. And my younger brother, Barry, he luckily retired young. He's 7 years younger than me, but he retired. He had a windfall.
Wow.
And he's moved from Kimberley down to Bushmans as well.
Lovely.
So
The lovely river, hey? Beautiful.
Yes.
I learned to windsurf there and we used to
so,
spend...
so tomorrow afternoon I'll be off to Bushmans.
Oh, lovely.
And to celebrate my birthday on Sunday.
Is it on Sunday?
Sunday's my
Sunday,
birthday.
happy birthday. It's his birthday today. You guys should be wishing him happy birthday.
No,
yeah.
not yet.
It's fine. We're not going to get you any other time online. Tanya Fashier's down there. She's at Bushman's River Mouth. Here we go. Just behind the caravan park, so you can go there for a bit of a dop.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
Tanya's
that.
certainly got some whiskey there because I know her. Tracy Thorne, you were such a huge part of our support system when my son David Grant had his spinal surgery a few years ago. Bless you. I had the privilege of nursing your dad and wife during my nursing career. Tracy was
Thank
a
you,
nurse
Tracy.
as well. Tracy was matric 88. Very proud of her, yes. Caroline Morgan.
One of my favorite ladies. She was my SGB chairperson as well.
Yes.
And an amazing lady. Caroline, thank you.
Great taste in music, she says. The moody freaking blues. That's what I'm saying. Okay, Danette Oudendal, Danette Gous Oudendal, from current proudly Victorian family. Great school, greater maths teacher to our daughter. Greatest principal. Thank you very much, Danette.
You're going to sleep well. Thank you, Danette.
Yeah, I tell you, Michelle Young, Zoe and Chloe, so blessed to have the maths teacher this year. If only I had you in there, matric year. Indeed. Oh dear, were the marks not so great, Michelle? Davina's saying Bush's is fab in your family place. You know, you got to have that happy place as well.
Yes, it's a lovely, happy
It's
place.
beautiful. We've got St. Francis and Philippa, that's her happy place as well there. But Bushman's, we grew up there.
Really?
Also, we went out there every...
Really?
It's in my school days.
We've been going for, must be 30 years now.
Beautiful place. Kim Castle, there we go. Most amazing headmaster ever. My son went to BP, had the privilege of being under Mark's watch. Fantastic, Kim.
Thank you, Kim.
Yeah, I'm sure she's involved in the teaching stuff as well, or the psychologist or something.
Yes,
I
I
know
think
Kim
so,
will have to tell us what it is, the title. I can't remember, but I know Philip has had dealings with Kim. Is there anything that you'll never do again?
Anything I'll never do again?
Yeah, like you think, I'm never going to do that again. I'm never going to do that again.
No, I'll still do everything I've done.
That's right. There's no regrets.
No regrets.
No rugrats. There we go. A turning point in your life. Turning points in your life.
Turning point in my life was to get soppy now. It's my...
Yeah.
Because Annalene and I couldn't have children. We somehow just didn't work.
Yeah.
And we went through Dalmayer.
Okay, Dr.
The
Dalmayer.
gift operation.
Yes.
And the first one didn't work, and had to go
Yeah.
and borrow money to
Eish.
do the next one.
That
But
is
we
so
pushed
interesting.
through. And on Friday the 13th, we heard that we were expecting twins.
Jeez.
And what an amazing, and it changed my life forever.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine having lived now without my two daughters, Xanthi and Michelle.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest turning point.
And being
of
Friday
mine
the
and
13th with you being so bloody
yes, and
superstitious.
superstition that came out.
Jeez, like that must have been like, oh my soul. It's Friday the 13th.
Still standing in
Not
Ute get
just-
up our pub in our house, and the phone call came at about 7 o'clock that evening. The count is so much, and that means you're probably having twins.
Oh, yes. Oh,
No, that
my
was
word.
good.
So it was like a double whammy. Yeah? That must have been a happy day. Happy day, for sure. Sarah Conlon saying hello there. Says, miss you, Uncle Mike, I see. And Jonathan Maxwell. Saraki.
Sarki there, yes.
Saraki. And, that's Jonathan Maxwell as well saying happy birthday for Sunday. There we go, some birthdays.
Thank you, Jonathan. Thanks. No, I won't behave.
Oh, behave. Oh, behave. Michelle Brink. Oh, man. There we go. You're a legend. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Taught you maths. So many maths people. All right. A couple more. Have you been in a car accident?
Yes.
Ooh. What happened?
I was driving as a youngster,
Yeah.
and my wife now was my girlfriend,
Yes.
and we went out. And I didn't have a license yet. I was actually going for my.
What a good example you are.
My driver's license appointment was the next morning.
Oh, I see. So you had your learners at
I had
least.
my learners, and we came and down and past Harry's Roadhouse in Utenag.
Yes.
There was an accident,
Oh.
and a car, to avoid the other cars
Yes.
that were standing, he came up too quiet, and he went onto our side of the road and he smashed us head on,
Head on.
with the police standing next to the car. So
they saw everything then.
They whipped the guy out there.
Oh,
but of course now I haven't got a license and I've got to go.
Yes, you've got to tell them, oh, it wasn't my fault, so you don't need my
Yeah.
license, hey, you don't. It
So I
should
had,
be
to,
right.
I had to borrow a car for the next morning and went and I got it. I got it the next morning. But then how do you get through the police station when you got to go and present your license?
No, how do you
And the
do it?
constable behind there, where it said the 28th, I said it says the 27th. I said, nee meneer. I said 27th. I said, ja meneer.
Ja, was het de speedkop met daai kortbroek ook?
Nee, dit was
die-
die
was
politieman.
een uitna geweest.
Politieman, ja.
And was the car you're driving, I mean, it was in Utenag, was it a Cortina?
It was a Hillman Hunter.
Human.
A Hillman Hunter.
Jeez.
My first
You
car.
know, it's a good name for a car in Utenag as well, because they like to
Hunter.
dice there as well.
Yeah.
You know. They're actually obviously dicing when they had the first accident there. All right. What old person things do you do?
Yeah. I should call my wife.
Yes, go on. Is she online? Is she not online? What old person things does Mike do? Go on. I want to know this. We'll leave it for them.
True confession's not coming from me.
No, not from
But
you.
I think I've got a lot of old person things already.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
Yes.
Are you?
Yeah, I can be.
Good. Oh, good. I like that. And an example.
Tell us some of the secrets you've kept.
Yes, tell us some of those secrets, says Gary. He's not going to tell us anything. Is there any mistake or failure that you've made that you've learned from, and like you can tell us what you've learned from it?
I think the failure that I made when I was speaking earlier when I wasn't well is that I didn't look after myself. I let it go too far.
Okay.
And just to tell people, don't let it happen to you. So don't.
Yeah. When you see yourself sliding down that road, try and catch it early.
Yeah.
Is it the same thing?
Yes, that's right.
So and I think it's difficult because your pride as well, and you're always
yes.
like strong.
Yeah.
I can make it. It's fine.
Course
It'll
yes,
be
yeah.
fine. But actually, it's not.
No, it's not.
Man, okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, we got the either ors and the would you rathers, and then we finished.
Okay.
All right. All right, 80s and before or 90s onward music?
80s or before.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. Too
Too warm.
You'd rather be too warm. Okay, don't like the cold so much. What about Interlaken? Interlaken is another one. It's another thing. That's more about superstition. Surround yourself with good people or smart people.
Good people.
They can't be either. You've got to be one or the other.
Good people.
or smart.
Good.
Okay, excellent. Talking or listening?
It used to be talking. Now my wife says, I've got...
He's more of a listener
Yeah,
now.
I'm a listener.
Yes. Okay. Beatles or Stones?
Beatles.
Ayo, I like it. I'm a Stones guy. I think I'm a Stones guy.
No, but you do the Stones.
Yeah, no, I do it. Yeah, I do. Introvert or extrovert?
Extrovert.
Oh, yeah. Cats or dogs?
Strange now, lately been cats because
really?
I've got a cat that's now really decided I'm his arm to lie in and all of that type of thing.
So
but,
there's a cat that's
but
taken-
from earlier on it was always dogs.
Dogs.
Love
Well, as
dogs.
an extrovert, you would normally say dogs.
Dog, yes,
dogs
would
are
say
like out
they
there.
are there, yeah.
They are, but no, clearly this
But
cat's
one,
got its way with
it's
you.
just climbed into heart, yeah.
Oh, my soul. You're going to be an old man with a cat.
Cat.
There's an old man thing you do.
There we go. Sleep with a cat.
Told you
Sleep with
so.
a cat.
Excellent. Okay, important in a partner. Okay, this is a good one. Important in your partner. Funny or intelligent? You can only choose one.
But I've got an intelligent, funny one.
Oh, yeah, whatever, but you've got to choose one or the other. Would you rather have him just being funny?
Intelligent.
All right, she's going to be very unfunny. Save or spend?
Spend.
Spend, love it. Forest or beach?
Beach.
Oh, I like that. Okay, I like that. It's a caravanning in the beach. Good, good, I like that. Okay, antique or brand new?
Brand new.
You prefer a bit of looking forward, eh? Looking forward, good way to go into this.
We're going to, yes.
Next party of
That's
life.
right.
Now, look at you! I love it. Painfully aware or blissfully ignorant?
Blissfully ignorant.
I'm with you.
Blissfully ignorant.
Okay. Forgiveness or vengeance?
Forgiveness.
Excellent. And freedom or security?
Security.
Security, you prefer that, eh? Going into retirement, maybe
Yes.
that's the one we're going to have to lock him up in a room somewhere. All right, it's time for the Would You Rathers, the final questions. Let's go. All right, would you rather have 100 duck-sized elephants or one elephant-sized duck?
Elephant-sized duck.
Bring it on. You
Bring
can
on
get
it.
inside
Bring
it.
in the...
Hey? You can sail you can sail to Interlaken.
Bring that duck.
I love it. Would you rather be without elbows or without knees?
Elbows.
You can rather just have that. You won't be able to scratch your eye when it's itchy. That's right. Okay. Would you? This is a nice one. Would you rather win 200,000 rand? I like that figure. Would you rather win 200,000 rand yourself, or have your best friend win 1 million rand and he can't share it with you, and he doesn't know who he doesn't know you that's have arranged that?
Bring on the 200,000.
200,000. Bring it.
Bring it
Stuff
on.
them.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
I like that. I like that. Your best friend. His best friend is going to take his 800.
Bring it on. Bring on.
No, bring on the 200. You'll spend it. He's going to Interlaken again. Would you rather fight a chicken to death each time you get into the car, or fight an orangutan to death once a year, but you get a sword?
Bring on the orangutan.
Orangutan.
The
Hey, give it a go with that
and
sword.
give me a sword.
Go on, bring it on. That orangutan will bend that sword one time. Okay, if you were stranded on a desert island with your dog, would you rather eat your dog or starve to death? Ooh.
No, listen, I wouldn't be able to eat
You
my
wouldn't be able
dog.
to eat it. Or your cat.
No, nor the cat. No.
Well, the cat wouldn't keep you alive for very long anyway.
No.
Small morsels, you know.
No.
Okay, but you wouldn't be able to do that. You'd rather just try and eat sand or something.
Something like that.
Okay.
Go slowly. Yeah.
Find a coconut somewhere. All right. Would you rather have a lazy eye or a lazy spouse?
Okay. Lazy eye.
Oh, you're putting a lot of pressure on your wife, Annalena. She's going to be. I hope you haven't got a lazy spouse. No, that's fine.
No, I haven't.
Would you? Okay. Final question. Would you rather stick your hand into a shark-infested waters or reach your hand into a lion's cage? Shark-infested. That's a pretty quick bite.
Yeah, no, give me the quick bite. I'll be sharky. I'll be sharky.
Tiger will be like a gnaw. Probably get you into the molars a bit.
Yes.
And then,
No.
No. Sarah Connell saying, "Miss you, Uncle Mike. Thank you for believing in me."
Cheers, Sharky.
Did you believe in her?
I did.
Excellent. It's fantastic. Taught me maths at school. Now my daughter is privileged to attend VP2. Thanks, Mr. Vermaak. You're such a legend. Some love coming your way.
Thank
Best
you.
principal. Also, happy birthday for Sunday.
Thank you.
Debbie Weber saying, thank you for everything you've done for my daughter. You're the best. It's
Thank
nice
you very
to see
much.
these, because these people are you teach them in a class of what, 30, whatever it is. But you actually have such an effect because Each one of those kids is looking at you individually.
That's right. Yeah.
Isn't it amazing? Mandy Tuck Hall saying greetings from Uitenhage.
Hello, Mandy.
Come on, Uncle Richa.
Yeah.
They did my prac teaching. And Alec Riddle.
Hello, Alec.
You learned a lot, eh? Alec was a fine athlete.
Great athlete.
Dickie Ogilvie. Dickie Ogilvie was with him.
Yes.
Prac teaching.
I played a bit of cricket with Dickie.
Okay, that's friend of Tomo, I think, as well. And that's Brian Wilkinson. Brilliant show. Thank you very much, Brian.
Well done, Gino.
Thank you so much,
And thank you, Gino. It was lovely.
It's fantastic. Thank you for spending a bit of time with us and giving us your time.
Yes, thank you.
It's time for the competition, guys. We've got a combo on now. I'm gonna put this in. Thank you so much for coming on board, and thank you all of you for jumping online and watching Gino Spot. And now all of you, we have a competition. Now I'm gonna play some drums for you, but you have to block your ears because it gets bloody loud in here.
Yes.
All right, so I'm gonna play a song on the drums, and for those of you who don't know, you've got to the first one to write the name of the artist and the name of the song in the comments. Both of them in the comments wins a case of Fitch and Leeds, which we have Fitch and Leeds here as well. We have a case of Fitch and Leeds that we can send to you no matter where you are in the country. It doesn't matter if you're even if you're in England. I think we can probably send it as well. So let's get over to the drum cam, and we're going to do this. We're going to do it, baby. That's right. Okay, I just hope I haven't got the right stool here. All right, we're going to do it. So the first one to put it in the comments. I want the name of the artist and the name of the song. All right, let me just change my seat here before you start. Get here. Do this. Okay, yeah. Here. And there. And we got it. All right. And what have we got here? All right. Oh, we'll send it to VP. Fantastic. Well done.
Well done, Adrian.
He was on a not shirt. This is the one he was typing so quickly he wrote in finish. But it's close enough. Thank you for another brick in the wall. You won the Fitch and Leeds. Thank you very much for everybody for coming on board. Gino Spot tonight. And remember, Tuesday we have Peter Wise on, so don't miss out on that. And then next Saturday as well, we have Linky and Lance from the St. Francis Brewery, which has been fantastic. And thank you, Mike. Thank you so much for coming aboard. It's been
pleasure.
fantastic.
Thank you, Gino.
And best of luck for the retirement. We'll be watching what you're going to be doing. I'm sure you're going to be all over the place. You're going to be all over the place. No. Thank you to Spa. Thank you to Fitch and Leeds. Thank you to Grace for our lovely Exciting Cats food. And thank you to Amubia for our internet. And we'll see you on Saturday for the it's a rebroadcast of this on Saturday. And of course on Tuesday we'll see you again with Peter Wise. All right. Thank you. Big fat catch.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver. Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.